I am getting ready because I have somewhere to go today. And I am going to the Ark of DeKalb County is where I'm going. And I have to be there around 10 this morning, which means I have to go do animals early. I tried to go live on my... Let's let some people join before I just start talking. It's early. It's not even 7 o'clock. Have I lost my mind? That's the $1 million question. I feel like this is the honest truth. Every time I go to put my makeup on, I feel like I want to put it on with y'all. I don't want to do it by myself. It's like I'm so accustomed to going live, putting on my makeup. It's like when I sit here, no matter what time, it could be 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to go to dinner with Shane, and I begin to put my makeup on. I feel like I have to go live. It's the weirdest thing. It's like natural for me. And like, it's just, I don't know. And I've, recently I've told over, should I continue to go live putting on my makeup? Because it's dumb. You know what I mean? It's like so dumb. Like, who puts on their makeup and go live? Only people that sell makeup do that. Like, no other farm person is thinking about putting on their makeup, right? Like, it's just kind of like, sometimes I'm like, gee, this is really dumb. This is really, like, farm people don't do that, Judy. Like, nobody puts on their makeup and gets ready in the morning but people that sell makeup. Like, you're putting... Do you ever talk to yourself like this? Like stuff that you do is really dumb, But I realized, like, I have to talk to myself constantly about it because I'm, like, judging myself, going, you're a straight up weirdo, Judy. Like, you're the biggest weirdo. Like, who does that? And I realized that I am a weirdo. Like, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to, like, social media, and even, like, if you're not on social media and you just follow someone, like, let's say that you're wanting to get yourself involved. I talked to you guys about part of sitting it out is not getting yourself involved. It is. Like, being an introvert, like, constantly wanting to be by yourself, that can create a problem for you. Because it creates... I mean, I'm not saying that being by yourself is bad, because there is time where you need to be by yourself, But at the end of the day, every day, all day long, we learn about balance, and balance is moderation. Everything in moderation. There's nothing wrong with drinking a Sprite Zero, but you just don't drink them all day long. Even if you think about, healthy things, you gotta do everything in moderation. And when you constantly want to be by yourself and, like, never want to surround yourself with people, that can be unhealthy. But when you go, like, let's just say that you're an introvert. You're a person that stays at home and you're lucky to go to the mailbox, okay? And you're like, okay, Aunt Judy's talking about dancing, and I need to go do something and surround myself with some people. Finding your people can be difficult. And what I mean by that is finding your people. Obviously, you have to be like-minded. You know, you have to kind of enjoy the same things. So you got to find people that, let's just say, because I just recently went to ceramics, okay? And I think I told you guys, but I decided that I wanted to go to ceramics. And I don't know why I put this stigma on it. But like when I think of ceramics, I think of the older population. Because when I was a little girl, my great-grandmother took me to ceramics. And when I went to ceramics, it was me and a bunch of people that lived in a retirement home. So I visualize ceramics with the older population. So when I decided that I wanted to go to ceramics, the first person I thought of to go with me was my mother-in-law. I was like, this would be so much fun for me and my mother-in-law to do together. And then in the back of my head, I was like, will she go with me? Because she's the type of person, all she does is go to the doctor. She doesn't really get out. And so in the back of my head, I thought, is she going to go with me? And I thought, she'll go if I invite her sister. You know what I mean? Like, and then I thought, hey, I'm the type of person, the more the merrier. So I was thinking in my head, I'll invite my mother-in-law, her sister, and myself, and we can go. And this is going to be so much fun. I'm trying to find my people, right? And when you're trying to find your people, you think family has your back, right? Like my sister will go, or my brother will go, or my mom will go. You know, like you think automatically that your family is going to go with you. Well, I started like going, she's not going to go with me because she's not going to want to pay to go, because this is not her idea, it's my idea. So Shane was like, just tell her we'll pay for it. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll pay for it, you know? And so I'm trying to find my people to go with me. And so I messaged her sister first, and I said, hey, there is a ceramic class just 2 minutes from your house. And I was going to see if you would go with me because I'm wanting to make Christmas trees. And I said, I have invited, her sister. And she said, that sounds like fun. Well, I took it as, we're going. And Shane goes, your mom's going to get mad at you because you told, Nancy first and you didn't tell mom. And so I hurried up and I called my mother-in-law. I was like, hey, I was going to see if you and Nancy wanted to go to ceramics with me. I'm trying to find my people, right? And I'm just going to say, she didn't say yes and she didn't say no. But she was telling me, she said, these were her exact words. She said, Well, last week I went to get my blood drawn for my cholesterol. And Thursday, I have to go back to the doctor to get the results of my cholesterol. Okay, keep in mind, the ceramic class was Friday. Okay, it wasn't Thursday. And she said, so I don't know if I'll be able to go. I'll have to let you know. And I looked at Shane. I was like, she ain't going. she ain't going. She thought this was a dumb idea. And I thought, well, me and Nancy will go by ourselves. So I'm okay with that. I mean, the ceramic place is just like 2 minutes from her house. And so I thought, well, my mother-in-law will call me and tell me whether she wants to go, because this was like the week before. And so the next morning, okay, keep in mind, I've already paid for this, right? And so the next morning, I get a text message from her sister that says, I really don't like ceramics. When you're trying to find your people, and what I mean by that is you're trying to find someone with like interest. I'm not one to like to leave the house. I'm the one that wants to stay home, the introvert that never wants to leave. So when I step out of my comfort zone, because to be honest, I could have gone to the ceramic class by myself. But I was trying to branch outside of my comfort zone and go with someone. And to make a long story short, like I told you, I paid for it, and then neither one of them wanted to go. And when that happens, you find yourself in the dumps. Because you're like, it was taking all the strength that I had to get myself there. And I go out of my way to pay for this, to invite, and I thought, somebody my age or older would love ceramics. I thought that was a good idea. And I realized real quick that not everyone has the same interest as me. It's the same on social media when you are a creator. You're trying to find your people. And you're putting yourself out there, sharing your life with people that watch that you don't know. And some are going to form an opinion about you. Like, for example, you're scrolling through YouTube and all of a sudden this girl in overalls at 6:30 in the morning is going live putting on her makeup. And as you're trying to find your people that you click with, you get a lot of letdowns. Just like I got let down in ceramics. And when you're trying to find your people, you begin to judge yourself. And what you do is you say, well, I shouldn't even ask them to go to ceramics. I should have known they don't like to get out of the house. Or I shouldn't go live in the morning and put on my makeup because it's dumb. I mean, people tell me it's dumb. And that's what you do to yourself. And it takes all that you have to put your life out there, or to ask someone to, your family to go to ceramics with you. And then when someone tells you something negative, like, no, I'm not going, or I don't like ceramics, or you're dumb for putting on your makeup, you begin to negative talk to yourself. And you say, I'll never do that again. I will never, ever ask them to do anything ever again because they don't want to get out of the house. Or maybe you say to yourself, maybe they don't like you. I mean, maybe they just don't want to do anything with you, you know? Like, you start negative talking to yourself. Like, you're like, it's dumb for me to go live putting on my makeup because people tell me that. People will send me messages and tell me how dumb I am. And then what happens is when you start negative talking to yourself, well, then you start comparing yourself. That's what you do. You start comparing yourselves. So then you go, look at other people and you're like, oh, well, I don't know. You start going, like, for example, the ceramic class. I go to the ceramic class and guess what? Guess who's there? A daughter with her mother-in-law and mother. And they are having an absolute ball. They're taking pictures. They're setting memories. They all, took pictures with their Christmas trees. They all wrote their name on the bottom of the Christmas trees and the day. And this is a memory that they'll have for a lifetime. I remember when me and my mother-in-law and mother all went to ceramics that day and made these Christmas trees. And now our great-great-grandkids have these Christmas trees that we were able to pass on. And we did this together. And they are going to put the picture of them making the Christmas trees so that next generations down the line can see that all three of them are making Christmas trees. So then I'm sitting in ceramics, right? I'm sitting in ceramics. I negative talked to myself the whole entire time before I even went to ceramics. So then I'm sitting in ceramics and I'm looking over and I'm like, it must be nice. Like I felt I was comparing myself. I was comparing myself to this and the when I went over, because they asked, of all people, they asked me to take their picture together with their trees. And as I was sitting there comparing myself to this girl, I said, this is so awesome that you and your mother-in-law and mother are having this moment together and making these trees. This is awesome. She said, yeah. She said, I didn't know what to get them for Christmas. So I decided to do an activity with them, and they were so excited. And she said, we're going to go to lunch after this, and we're just making a day of it. And I was sitting there comparing myself to that girl. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to go, yeah, I paid for my mother-in-law and aunt to come too, and I already paid for it, and they wouldn't come with me. So you're very fortunate to have a mother-in-law and a mother that would come with you. You are so fortunate. But I sat there and compared myself as I was sitting there taking the picture. And oftentimes when we're trying to find our circle, I remember when I was young, I remember my mother saying, I was having an altercation with a friend of mine in high school, and my mom said, Judy, you will only have one or two true friends in this world. And I remember when she said that to me, I didn't quite understand because I was too young. But now that I'm older, I get what she's talking about. Because in life, when you're trying to find your one or two friends that's your friends for a lifetime, it can take a long time to find your people. And as you go through life and you meet people, you find yourself getting let down. Because like in my lifetime, well, let's just talk about the ceramic class. I found myself, they let me down. And I realized that where I desire to have a relationship, I don't have a mother. My mother's gone. And so I desire to have that mother-daughter relationship where mom and daughter go shopping or make cookies together or do ceramics together. I desire that. And when I put myself out there to try to, I guess, mimic that mother-daughter relationship, I got slapped in the face. Now let's talk about, being a content creator. As I sit here and I let people tell me it's dumb for you to go live putting on your makeup, I'm like, girlfriend, you're missing your blessing, because it has nothing to do with me putting on makeup. It has to do with being the best version of yourself. I'm talking deeply about things that I go through to get to where I am today. My morning lives are about mental health. It's not about putting on makeup. And and some people are like, well, Judy, I can't sit and watch you put on makeup. Okay, you're not my people. Like, I feel called and led to help people overcome obstacles that are hard in their life. I go live to talk about hard things that I go through in hopes to let you know I'm holding your hand. I'm your friend. I am the true friend that my mom talked about. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care if you're an atheist or a Christian. We're all trying to figure out life together. And I'm not here to judge and go, oh, you're dumb for putting on your makeup. Or, hey, you're dumb, whatever. I'm not here to throw the word dumb around. When you're trying to find your people, just like you're trying to find the content creators that you like, you're trying to find someone that you can connect with. You're watching people's reality of life and you're making a connection with them. And as you watch people over time, either you make a connection with them or you don't. Just like me asking my mother-in-law and Shane's aunt to go to ceramics with me. They're either going to make a connection or they're not. But you know what happened? I could have just said, I'm not going. Or I could have just said, okay, I'm going to go by myself. But in the back of my head, I was like, I bought 3 Christmas trees. I can't sit there for 45 hours and paint 3 Christmas trees by myself. I spent $300. So in my head, I'm like, what are you going to do, Judy? So I called a backup dancer that lives close to me. And I said, would you like to go to ceramics? I've already paid for it. So you're going to get a $100 Christmas tree. I've already paid for it. I don't want any money back. Would you like to go with me? And she said, absolutely. That's my people. And when we went, we had a blast. We ended up going to eat lunch. We ended up yesterday when we went to pick up our Christmas trees, her and I went shopping. Just like we went, it's this little country town and it had like little whatnot gift shops and boutiques and things like that. And we went in it and I found some Christmas gifts that I could, give to people. And when you're finding your people, it can be, it can take a while. It can take a while. I got powder on my shoulder. It can take a while. So if, let's just say, you're following me and you're doing YouTube just like me, it's like going to ceramics every day. That's what it's like. You're gonna go live or you're gonna make a video. And if your number one goal is, let's just say, to make money, it don't work that way. I hate to break it to you. If you're doing YouTube to get rich, you're going to find yourself in the floor, because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself working really long hours. You're going to find yourself videoing constantly. A phone is in your hand constantly. You're in the house editing for hours. You're spending money on StreamYard and copyright music and all the things, a new computer, the latest best camera phone. You're going to spend a lot of money to be a creator on YouTube. And to find your people, it can take years to find your people. And at the end of the day, if you do it because you love your best friends that are following you, then you're in it for the right reasons. And if you find yourself comparing yourselves to others because people put you down, those aren't your people. Just like your mom probably told you, you know, Lisa, you're only going to have 1 or 2 friends in your life. And what I mean by that, it doesn't mean that people that don't follow you or people that don't want to go to ceramics with you are not good people. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that my mother-in-law is terrible because she didn't want to go to ceramics with me. It's just she's not going to be the mother-in-law that I want to go shopping with me or go to ceramics with me or whatever. It's not going to be that. And so you find yourself let down because your expectations are, I want to have a good relationship with my mother-in-law. I want to go shopping with her. I want to do ceramics with her. I want to go make cookies with her. I want to go learn all her baking recipes. But it's not like that. So if you set expectations, you're going to find yourself let down. And as you begin to find your circle of people where I might not be able to go to ceramics with my mother-in-law like I had planned, but I have a really good friend I can go with that enjoys it just like me. And we like when we were going to pick up our Christmas trees yesterday, we had butterflies in our sun. We were so excited. And when we walked in to see our Christmas tree, it was gorgeous. It had little glitter paint in it. And it was just like we were so excited. We couldn't wait to get home and put the light bulbs in the tree. And we couldn't wait to get home and put the light and light it up and turn the lights off and see the beautiful Christmas tree. And in my head, I thought, my mother-in-law is crazy for not going with me. This is gorgeous. But when you're finding your people, not everyone's going to have a like interest in you. And that's okay. It just means they're not your people. But sometimes when we find ourselves let down, that's when we start negative talking to ourselves, and that's where the comparison comes in. Well, it must be nice to get your mother-in-law and mother in the ceramic class. How'd you do it? Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all, you know? And so I can sit here in my head and I don't remember if it was my last video or my last live. I can't remember. But I told you that I got this card from Becky that says, I see you. Because Becky doesn't always comment, but she says, Judy, I'm there. I see you. And I noticed that some people that watch my replay or watch my video, they say, I'm not always there, but I see you. That's my people. And what happens is when you're a creator, like you try not to focus on a number, because it's really not about a number. It's about the friendships that you're developing. Because being an introvert, because I guess if my mother-in-law, I don't know, if she called me to go to ceramics, I think I would have gone. But what happens is when the people comment all the time, those are my people. The people that join me every video or every live or that send me an email. I read them and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to meet Mary. Oh my gosh, before I am dead on this earth, I am going to meet Mary. Mary. I want to meet Mary because Mary's been here for so long. But there's so many people behind the scenes because, like, for example, I have almost 2,000 views on my last video. Well, 2,000 people didn't comment. So there's a lot of people that watch all my content and they're like Becky and say, I see you. And sometimes you forget about the people that see you. It's no different. Maybe you're not a content creator. Maybe you're in Walmart and you're pushing the buggy through Walmart and somebody may not say good morning, but people see you. Like, I know sometimes when I'm in Walmart, I can be pushing the buggy down the aisle and I'm like, God, that woman is beautiful, or that man is so good looking, or God, look how cute that kid is. Like, but I never say it. Sometimes I will say it. Sometimes if there's this lady in this gorgeous shirt and it's making her eyes pop, I'll say, your eyes are absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. You know, it's the little things, but people see you everywhere you go. You don't have to just be a content creator on live videos for people to see you. They don't have to comment for them to be your people. When people show up every video and you have, let's just say, 2,000 views every video, there's 2,000 people that see you. When you go to Walmart and you're pushing a buggy, there's probably 2,000 people in Walmart that see you. It's something to think about. And when people have their eyes on you, it's important for you to carry yourself with pride and dignity. And, you know, I told you this story one day about, I went into the Dollar General, which is right up the street. And I ran in there and I looked like who'd have thunk it. And every time I go in there, at the time, every time I went in there was never a cashier. And this particular day, I was in a hurry. And I don't know, let's just say hang on just a second. Let's say I just had I was going in to get a can of green beans. I don't remember what I was going in for, but I was going in to get a can of green beans. And of course, the lady was not at the register. And they had this thing where when you walk past the register, it beeps. So the lady is out, if she's out stocking, she hears that someone's at the register. And so I clicked it and no one came. I'm like, oh my gosh, hurry up. And so I clicked it again. No one came. So then I started yelling, okay, because there was hardly anybody in the Dollar General, okay? I wouldn't just start screaming in the Dollar General. But I'm like, is anybody working? I start yelling that. I will say, when I was yelling it, I had a little bit of an attitude. Does anybody work here? You know, I was like, a little bit of attitude. Because I had sat there for a minute. And this lady said, oh, I'm sorry. Because she was back in the back stocking the shelves. And she said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it beep. I said, it's okay. And as she was checking me out, she goes, are you Aunt Judy? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I am. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry that I made you mad. Oh my God. And I'm over here going, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, right now. Oh my gosh. And she said, I'm sorry I made you mad. She said, they make us, when we're slow, they make us stock the shelves. And she said, so I was back there doing my job and I didn't hear the beep go off. And I was like, oh. I said, I'm sorry I was ugly. I'm sorry. I didn't know you would know who I was. And she said, yes, I watch you all the time. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I mean. Like Becky sent me that card, people see you. People see you. People see you. Just because they don't comment, people see you. They do. So it's important not to be like me and walk in the Dollar General. Is anybody work here? I mean, I have to watch myself now. Because I don't want to be, well, Aunt Judy ain't who she said she are. You should see her in public. She's a train wreck. She ain't nice. She walks in the Dollar General and just has an attitude. I learned my lesson real quick. But people see. People see your attitude. You don't have to be a content creator for people to see your attitude. I think one of the hardest things for me is to find my people. This lady at Petals, as a matter of fact, when she said this to me, I said, I never want to come here again. I never want to come here again. At Petals, she said, she literally walked up to me, like, why don't you just keep walking? But she walked up to me and she said, I quit watching you. Thank you. What am I going to say? Thank you. Thank you for stopping to watch me. She said, I stopped watching you because you were stressing me out when they closed your farm down. Thank you. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? You're not my people? I mean, I wonder what she'd have done if I would have said, oh, that's okay. I'm trying to find my people and you're not one of them. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what she would have done if I would have said that to her. Or recently, I haven't really got to talk about it, and I'm not going to really talk about it. But, you know, it was not my decision not to video when the center comes to my farm. That was not my choice. It was their choice. And I'll just tell you, they called me in for a meeting about it. I had to go to the facility. I mean, it was not like it was hard on me it's hard on me not to film the center. They're a part of my life. I mean, it's an adjustment for me. I want to share with y'all my life, and that is a part of my life that I no longer can share. If anybody is grieving, it would be me. And this lady commented, and she said, well, if the center is not going to be on your videos, I don't know if I'll watch your videos anymore. What if I would have replied, oh, that's fine. You're not my people. Because unfortunately, there's things that I can't control. The only person I can control is myself. So I can't control that the center is not on my videos anymore. But if you only watch my content because of the center, I don't know, maybe you're missing your blessing. I mean, what if I would have said, oh, that's fine. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And I thought, I wanted to go, you have no idea what it's doing for me. I work my tail off. And but see what happens. And I will tell you this. I have to be careful with saying this. But as you find your people, when you're trying to find your people, a lot of people that watch YouTube watch multiple farm channels. It's not like they like to follow people with animals in general. So they find themselves following channels that have farms. And then what happens is, let's just say there's one farm out here and they mention another farm and they tell you to go follow that farm. Then some people will do that. So then they find themselves watching multiple channels with farms. And then what happens is when you do something, let's just say you do a video and they watch multiple farms, they start talking about other creators would never do that or something like that on your channel. And you find yourself constantly being compared to other channels. And it's like it's hard because it's not me comparing myself to other channels, but other people compare me to other channels, and they put it in the comments, and I'm like, am I ever going to be Aunt Judy? Like, am I ever going to be Aunt Judy? And when you're trying to find your people, and it doesn't mean if they comment about the other channel that they're not your people. That is not what it means. It's just that you find yourself feeling like you're not good enough. Like sometimes I'm like, do they ever comment on other channels? You should ask Aunt Judy how to teach your pig to sit, or you should ask Aunt Judy how to work with the bull. Have you ever asked Aunt Judy how to get your bull to lick you in the face? Or have you ever asked Aunt Judy how to lay on a pig and read a book? I wonder that. Because, like, I wonder, I'm like, do other people compare me? Like, or am I on the low of the podium? Like, is other channels, like, you find yourself when you're trying to find your people. And it's not that when you're trying to find your people, you want them to agree with everything that you say and do. That is not what I mean at all, because that's not how life is. But when you find your people, they will trust your decisions, good or bad. Doesn't mean they agree with you. Like, for example, let's just say that I decided to get rid of Trace. It may break your heart going, gosh, I wish she wouldn't get rid of Trace, but I trust her. And I trust that she's making the right decision for her and Shane. That's your people. That is your people. That they trust that you're making the best decision for you and your family, even though you don't like it. Like, I don't like that she did this, but I trust that that's the best decision for her and Shane. That's your people. And even when I'm talking about like comparing yourself to other people, like when people say, you should do this, or this channel does this. Channels that are bigger than I am, I do look up to them. So it doesn't bother me if you say, hey, you should check with such and such because they do such and such. That does not bother me at all. It does not at all. Because I look up to the channels that are bigger because they have found their people. They have. And I respect them totally. So I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that as you begin to find your people and people compare you to other channels, I'm just saying sometimes it feels like, am I ever going to be Aunt Judy? Am I ever just going to be Aunt Judy? Because when you're trying to find your people, it's like it can be difficult. And you can have a lot of disappointment or heartaches but once you find your people, it's like you find yourself when someone, like if you got a group of people that you hang out with and they're your people, they trust your decisions and they're not judgy towards you. They trust everything, every decision you do. They know that you're doing it in the goodness of your heart. Those are your people. And then as new people start to critique you, you get your feelings hurt, or you they don't trust your judgment because they don't know you yet. They're like, oh, Susie would never do that. And you're like, I know because I'm Judy. That's why Susie would never do that, because I'm Judy. And as you get to know me, you're going to have to trust the decisions that I make, because what's good for my household may not be good for Susie's household. And that's the great thing about being here, is that everyone is so different. What if you said that? That person would be like, what? Can you imagine? I don't even know what time it is. Girl, it's only 7:30 in the morning. I am very excited about taking Jack today. Let me just tell you this. The Ark of DeKalb County, that's the name of it. The lady that works there that has asked me to come is Jack's first mama. Jack, I don't even know how she got Jack. I'll have to ask her. She probably ordered Jack from an egg and she probably hatched it herself. I will tell you, most people have never seen geese like Jack and Jill. They are Sebastopol geese. As a matter of fact, they're very expensive. So if you went to a hatchery and wanted to buy an egg or a gosling, okay? Let's just say a gosling, a baby geese, okay? Oh, I put it in the wrong hole. A female gosling, so a female baby, is $250 for a baby. A male gosling is about $150. Well, when you order from a hatchery, you typically can't just order one. They make you order a couple of them at a time. And so it's very expensive to acquire some geese like that unless you know a local breeder, because what happens is when you order from a hatchery, you have to pay for shipping. So if you can find a local breeder that has them, then you could pay $250 because you can sex them right off the bat. And so if you found a local breeder, you wouldn't have to pay for shipping, but they're very, very expensive geese. Just like our Hereford mini bulls and cows, they're expensive. Like the heifers that we bought were $2,750 a piece. They're not cheap. They're expensive. So, when the reason she gave Jack and Jill to me is because they owned a farm that just did waterfowl. They didn't have to do chickens or anything like that. They just did waterfowl. And they were here locally. And I was a big fan of hers because she did a lot of things with the ducks. And y'all know I'm an advocate for ducks that are dumped off and things like that. And so she decided, she stayed home and did the waterfowl full time, and she decided that she had to go back to work, because I will tell you that doing farm work, having animals, is not cheap. It's not. And so she was going backwards. Many a times I go backwards. And so she decided to go to work. So she went to work for the Arc of DeKalb County, and that's a center here in, well, it's in Jasper, which is about an hour from here. So I got to travel an hour. And she works there. And so she called me and she said, "Will you bring your animals and read your book to the center?" I don't know if it's called the center. I'm just saying the center because I get in trouble with my words. So I said, "You want me to bring Jack?" And she said, "Oh my gosh, bring Jack." So I'm just going to take Jack, and because she hasn't seen Jack since he's had all his surgeries and lost his eye and things like that. She's been keeping up with Jack's story. Jack is doing great. Great. So Jack and I are going to travel to meet them today. And I'm so excited to teach them. You know, I've learned this because I've been surrounded by a lot of people with disabilities having this farm. And they have to be taught too not to make fun of people with disabilities. They do. You would think that they would automatically know that, but they don't. They have to be taught that as well. I think sometimes it's just like it's natural for a kid to make fun of another kid that looks different. Even as an adult, we find ourselves, me included, we find ourselves when someone looks different or does things different from us, we find ourselves judgy. And it's, for me, there's things that are automatic reaction, and then I have to correct my thoughts. Like, for example, if if I saw a man in a dress, it automatically catches your eye. And like, God, why is he wearing a dress? Your automatic reaction is to do that. But then I have to correct myself and go, Judy, you're being very judgmental right now, and that's none of your business. Like what he does with his life, has nothing to do with you and your life. And I will tell you, I am having a hard time with what the Bible says. I'm not gonna lie. In the Bible where it talks about if a man is sinning, you're supposed to confront that man. And if he doesn't listen, you're supposed to go get someone else and take them along and then confront him again. And if he doesn't listen, you're supposed to just not be friends with him. I have a hard time with that. I do. I'm not going to lie. I feel like, is that what God really meant when he said that? I really would like to dig a little deeper into that passage because I don't quite understand. Because I feel like, for example, if one of you are doing something wrong. Okay, first of all, let's just say I saw two men together. So God's going to want me to go up and tell them they're a sinner? Okay, tell me how that's going to work out for me. If I was in Walmart and I saw two guys holding hands, so you're telling me that God wants me to come up and go, God has let it on my heart to talk to y'all. Y'all are holding hands, and homosexuality is a sin in the Bible, and God is calling me to come tell you that you're wrong. Or in the Bible, it says this, and you need Jesus as your Savior. Tell me how that's going to work out for me. I'm like, and then if they don't listen to me, I go get someone else and take it and go, hey, I saw y'all last week in here and I had a talk with you about being a homosexual. And now I brought my buddy with me because we love y'all and we want y'all to go to heaven. Now, I'm sure the way I'm saying it is not very proper, but I'm just like, tell me how that's going to work out with you. I don't care what it is. If you call someone out on something they're doing wrong, they're automatically going to be offensive. If you said to me, Aunt Judy, let's say you send me an email. Aunt Judy, I feel in my heart I need to talk to you, and I need to tell you that it is wrong for a woman to wear pants. It is wrong for a woman to cut your hair. You should have your face covered in public. You're a woman. Because there's religions that believe that, okay? If somebody come up to me and said, I'm going to have to call you out. God's leading me to you. You should not be wearing overalls. You should be wearing dresses. I'm going to look at them like they have four horns on their head. I am. If someone come up to me and said, Judy, you're a woman, and in public, you are not supposed to have your face shown. If they came up to me and said that, I'm going to look at them like they have 4 horns on their head. If someone come up to me and said, hey, Judy, I just want to let you know, I know that you on paper are married to Shane, but God says that you're married one time unless they have an affair. So you're technically, by the grace of God, not married to Shane. You're actually married to your children's dad. You're sinning against God by being married to Shane. I'm going to look at them like they have 4 horns on their head. Personally. And as I try to find my people, like, that's not my people. People that would come for me because I don't agree with their religion, I would sit here and go, I want to be no part of your religion if you're going to judge me. And they're saying, I'm not judging you. The Bible says for us to call out your sin. And if you don't listen, I'm supposed to go get someone else and come to you again and approach you. And if you don't turn your ways, we're no longer being friends with you. Baby, honey, child, you're not my people. That's what I would do. You would make me run so far from your religion if you did that to me. So that part of the Bible, I do not understand. I do not understand. I just feel like when you're calling someone's sin out, I feel like that is very judgmental, because I feel like that God will convict you. I feel like. Because God's convicted me of my own sins, and I've changed my ways. No one came up and said, you're about to go to hell. I'm sorry, but you're straight up about to go to hell. I would run so far from that. I would. So for me to call someone out on their sin, I would just pray for them quietly. If I thought someone was doing something really, really bad, I just feel like I don't have the power to change their ways. If I did, I would. You know what I mean? If I could change someone from being an addict, I so would. But I don't have the power to do that. Trust me, I've tried. In the past, I have family members that are addicts. I have done everything in my power to try to change them, and all I did was piss them off. That's all I did. I pissed them off. I'd call them out. I know what you're doing. Like, if I could tell they were high, I know what you're doing. You can't hide that from me. They just quit talking to me. They didn't stop using. I don't have the power to do that. So if I went to them and confronted them, and then I took someone with me, do you think, they're going, these 2 people have come to me. I am going to turn my ways because these 2 human beings came to me and told me I'm going to hell. I had no clue that I was going to hell being a drug addict. I had no clue. Like, our life, it doesn't work that way. So I really don't understand. I don't understand. And I feel like individuals interpret the Bible many different ways. Like, you could text me or email me right now and say, Judy, let me explain that scripture to you. It means this. And then I could get another email that says, Judy, let me explain that scripture to you. It means this. And those 2 ways are totally different. Do you agree or disagree? I don't know. I just feel like calling somebody out for their sin is, I don't understand what God meant by that. I feel like maybe, I can remember back in the day, my grandparents would not do anything on Sundays. Sundays were a day of rest. We weren't allowed to swim. We weren't allowed to pick a watermelon out of the garden. We weren't allowed to do anything as kids on Sundays because that was a day of rest. You're to honor Sundays. I was brought up that way. And now I hear that was in the Old Testament. That's not for today's world. That was in the Old Testament. The New Testament says blah, 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 blah. And then I have family members that still honor Sundays. And then I have family members that believe that the New Testament is something different and you don't have to rest on a Sunday. It's like everybody interprets the Bible differently. And I feel like deep down inside my heart, if you feel like you're led to go call somebody out on their sins, and that's what you feel led to do, then do it. And I would love to know how it works out. I would. I would love to know how that works out for you. But for me, shoot, I ain't calling nobody out on sins because I got my own. That's the way I look at it. Like, I'm a train wreck myself, and I'm not about to call someone out when I'm a train wreck myself. I mean, like, I can remember one time my son was in a relationship, and I was giving him relationship advice, and he goes, Mother, I don't mean to be ugly, but do you think I'm going to take relationship advice from you when you've been married 4 times? I laughed so hard. It's like, well, I guess you're right. Don't take relationship advice from me because I am a train wreck. But that's what happens when you start telling people what they should and shouldn't do. It doesn't work out for you. It does not, because what will happen is when you start giving your opinion to someone, they're going to fire it back at you and go, you want to tell me that I'm wrong for holding this man's hand, but your mouth is a total train wreck? Like you throw the F-bomb like there's no tomorrow, and you want to look at me and tell me because I'm holding this guy's hand that I'm the sinner? And you literally are not married because you cheated on your husband? You cheated on your husband, but you want to tell me that I'm wrong in Walmart for holding this man's hand? That's what they're going to do. They're going to come for you. Because they're going to see you. They're going to go, oh, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're in the Dollar General. You are Aunt Judy. And you're screaming and hollering like some kind of idiot saying, does anybody work here? But you're going to get on your lives and talk about mental health. That's what you're going to do. Well, the first thing I say is I'm a train wreck. I don't pretend like I'm perfect. I'm a train wreck. I say it from the time I go live. I'm going to fire back. All right. We've been all over the map in this live this morning, but I hope there's at least one thing that you can take away with you. And I hope that as you find your people, when you find your people, it's a beautiful place to be. And you people that are my people, which is everyone that watches me, and I don't expect you to agree with everything that I do. But I do want you to trust the decisions I make, because I'm making the decisions because it's best for me and Shane. And whatever decisions you make, I want to trust you. And I want to know that you're making the best decisions for you. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you can control is yourself. And I want you to know, I'm going to get close. I want you to know that we don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be my friend. And I do like to have conversations with people. I do. But if you watch me and you're lonely and you wished you had this or you wished you had that or whatever, and you feel depressed, me too. Me too. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm here with you. I love you. I will see y'all, I don't know, next time, I guess. I don't think you realize how much I love you. Y'all have changed my life. And you think in your head, I'm still getting deep. You think in your head like you're a bad person, or no one likes you, or my family, the holidays are coming up. I wish I had a family like that would come over. I wish I could do dirty Santa with my family like they do. You're not alone. Don't ever feel alone. When you're on this channel, I'm right here with you. I'm only a click away because I get you. My mother-in-law won't go to ceramics with me either. I love you guys. I love you. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, like, there's Becky, so it reminds me of Becky. You know how, like, because this is my channel, and yes, I try to comment back to y'all. I do my best. But I see you too. I see you too. I may not see your name because you don't comment, but I see how many people watch my videos. And I may not know you by name if you don't comment, but I see you every single day. And as a matter of fact, you know what I did? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so long-winded. I'm going to end it after I say this. This morning, I was so emotional about y'all. And I was sitting here figuring up how many bags of feed that y'all have given me this year. Now, how did I do that? Ooh, I'm going to cry. Scout's honor, I'm not going to cry. I was going through the year on how much money I made on YouTube every month this year. And I was dividing it by 12 a month. No, I'm sorry. I was taking the money that I made off YouTube and I divided it by 22. And 22 is the average cost of a bag of feed. And I was like, these people. Now, I'm not going to tell you the number because I'm going to wait till December. But when you feel like that you don't support me, or I wished I could make a donation, or wished I could, I don't know, buy a t-shirt from her, or whatever. I see you. Just like Becky sees me, I see you. Because at the end of the day, when at the end of the year, when I see how much I've made, I don't say, look at me go. I am a rock star. I don't say that. What I say is, I say, look how much the backup dancers love my animals. And I go out there to Luna or Taterbug, and I'm like, you've got people that see you because they bought you this many bags of feed this year because you were kissing me or you were letting me lay on you. That is what I do. God humbles me all the time. I am not this great and wonderful person. I'm you. I'm just like you. I'm a human being. I'm a train wreck. But you are important to my animals. You give back every single day. Not just to me, but these other farm channels or these other YouTube channels. You give back every single day. So if you think, I wish I could give this Christmas season, girl, boy, you give all year long. All year long. All these channels that you watch, they have what they have, not because they're great and wonderful. There's nothing they've done. They found their people. They found people that believe in them and believe in their ministry and what they do. And that is nothing they've done. That is because of you. I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Have a great day. I'll let you know how today goes, and I'll see y'all on my live Monday. My video comes out today at 2:45. So I'll